Hey guys, Chris here. So right behind me we have the 2018 Audi RS4, and today I'm going to give you an extensive tour of the exterior and the interior. So the RS4 is the top of the line Audi A4. It's most aggressive, it's most sporty offering, and it really shows from the exterior styling. So compared to our Audi A4, which is, the smallest gas engine, the 1.4 liter TFSI with 150 horsepower, this has a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6 with 450 horsepower. And just showing off the front end here, it looks very different from our Audi A4. First, you have this honeycomb grille, which looks really cool, black painted with RS badging there. And then you have this, this matte metallic, matte aluminum detailing, around the grille here, you can see. And then you have the quattro badging down there, and then you have this aluminum trim, this matte aluminum here, almost like an F1 wing spoiler, just cutting up like that to the side. And then you have more of that honeycomb finishing here. Here you have the adaptive cruise control radar, cruise control sensors, one on each side. And then you have air vents here, which look like to be ducts to the brakes. And then you have here also, which looks like to be fins for downforce. And then all the way down below, you have this aggressive front lip, which is black painted. This really cool exterior. And then this also has probably the matrix LED lights, which look like that. And from this side, you can see that this car sits much wider than a normal Audi A4. You see the flared fenders there cutting around the side here, and then you have this extra air intake that you don't have on a normal A4, and it just is so much wider than a normal Audi A4. Moving over to the wheels, and these wheels are crazy. And are these 20s? These look like to be 20s. These five spoke wheel designs, which are in the same matte aluminum finish as you have here on the front of the car. And you can see they are very concave because the track on this car, it being wider, is also wider, and just giving it a real cool stance. And you can see here the flare, the fender moves out here and then in here, because here the car is as wide as a normal Audi A4. And you can also see the rear is also flaring out, and this is typical. Audi have done this on the RS4 since the first B5 RS4 back in 2000, if I'm not mistaken. You have more of that aluminum trim here on the mirror, though this seems to look a little different than what you have here. This is actually more matte than what you have here. But around the windows, you have the same, matte aluminum finishing as you do have on the front of the car. And you also have the roof rails here, which also are in the same matte finishing. And from the exterior, this car just looks so damn mean, so damn aggressive. This is Daytona gray, this color here, which is exclusive to the RS4 and Audi S line products on the A4 model line. And then you have the rear, a really mean stance, and in typical RS fashion, you have an oval outlet exhaust pipe on each side there. And on this car, they are painted black. And on the rear, you have this aluminum finishing as you have on the front, just extending, from all the way over to the side, around the oval tailpipes, along the middle. And then you see this rear diffuser, which looks like to be a proper diffuser, not just for the looks. It's also black painted. And so the rear looks, well, it does look more aggressive than a normal Audi A4, but it might be, the most subdued end of the car. What really gives it away are, the flared fenders. You can see you have that same, which looks like to be, I think it's just a fake grille there, but it does look really cool. So that is the exterior styling of this Audi RS4. It just looks so damn mean with these large wheels and the fended flares. So let's move over to the interior. I don't have the key on me. The key is in the car, but this car has keyless go, keyless entry. Put your finger there to lock the car and put your hand behind there to open. The wing mirrors do then fold. Open up the door, and this looks very similar to a normal Audi A4. It does have a few differences, and that is this mesh trim here in aluminum, which is probably, I think, unique to the RS4. And then it has extended leather package here, which gives you leather on the armrest, which is stitched in contrast stitching here. And then this also has the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which gives you this speaker grill here, which is different than what you have on a normal Audi A4. And this also has the Alcantara door inserts, and otherwise it's very similar to a normal Audi A4. Soft touch plastics up top, a metal grab handle, and actually this grab handle is different than what you have on a normal Audi A4. It has a cutout here, which is really cool actually. A normal Audi A4 does not have that. You have buttons here to lock and unlock the doors, and then here you have like a soft smooth plastic, and then you have the window switches down here, you have the mirror switches down there, and you have a trunk release, and this is also softly touched padded plastic. So moving over to the rest of the interior, you are granted by this RS4 badge there on the door sill, which is really cool. And this also has the RS seats, which are standard in the RS4, which has this quilted pattern design there, and the insert is Alcantara, and the outboard leather seems like to be some type of Napa, or at least similar smooth leather as Napa, which is really nice. Or it might actually not be Napa, because it is a bit more coarse than Napa, but it has very aggressive side bolsters for the thighs and also for the torso, and it has this cool integrated headrest there. The seat is electrically adjustable, though it does not have any memory settings, and it also does have a massage function there. And then here you also have lumbar support, and then do you have a manually operated thigh extension? Yes, you do. So let's take a step inside the Audi RS4. And again, if you've seen any of my Audi A4 videos, this will be very familiar, because the interior is the part of this car which is most similar to a normal Audi S4. So this has the RS steering wheel, which has perforated leather all around, and is also with a flat button, so it is D-shaped, and RS badging there. And then you have these flaps here for changing gears, which are plastic, but they are bigger and a bit more pronounced than what they are on a normal Audi A4. And they have this matte plastic bit up top there, and then black painted there. On a normal Audi A4, this would just be matte black plastic. The buttons here are the same, and this does have the Audi virtual cockpit, the RS Audi virtual cockpit, which is really cool, which does give you this center tack here, and then it's customizable on the left, customizable on the right, but you can also change the viewing to what you have on the normal Audi A4 with virtual cockpit. And we just turned on the ignition now, so it is loading, but you will have the map there, as you can see, in the middle. And as I said so many times before, this is, you know, the best digital gauge cluster in the business. And then here in the typical and exclusive to the RS cars, you have the tach in the middle, and then you have the map on the left there, but you can also change that. There we are scrolling. I'm not too familiar with how this works, so we'll hop over to the I do apologize, to the MMI screen here, which is the largest screen, which is the widescreen, larger than what we have on our car. So let's go out, and then you have, you know, all the menus here are still very familiar, though this has a bigger screen, and also does have Google Maps. Let's see if we can hit the map button there, and we don't have Google Maps up, but this does have Google Maps as a map view. So this really cool high definition screen sits up top of the dashboard, which is similar to the normal Audi A4. This also has tri-zone climate control, which gives you this cool climate control button stack here. So you have screens in between or inside the knobs to adjust the temperature, which is really cool. You only get that when you get the tri-zone. When you get the dual zone, you don't get that, and you also get this large center screen here. Moving down below, this car also has drive select, because it does have magnetic dampers, and you have all the familiar buttons down there, and then you have more of that aluminum trim here on the dashboard, you know, running the whole width of the car, starting over there and all the way over there, and then of course to the front doors. Top of the dashboard is soft touch plastics. You have a center speaker there with no branding, but the Bang & Olufsen sound system does get a tweeter up here and a tweeter down there for the audio system. And then down here in the footwell, you have unique to the RS4 a aluminum and rubber covered brake pedal there, and also the gas pedal, and then a footrest here. Over to the center console, we have an engine start stop button there, or the ignition switch, and you have more of that leather here. I think this is an extended leather package you can get on a normal A4, though it might be standard on the RS4. You have two large well-functioning cup holders there. They are really nice. And then you have the MMI controls here, and they have chrome bits here that we don't have on our Audi A4. This is plastic, but this is chrome, and the wheel is also knurled chrome. And then this, since this is an RS, you have the perforated leather on the gear selector. This is a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and this also has, of course, quattro all-wheel drive. In the center here, you have, you know, the normal Audi A4 foot armrest, and then you also have a wireless charging pad here, because this has something called Audi phone box, which is an option, so gives you the wireless charging pad there, which is really practical actually, in a nice position. And then you have this adjustable armrest, height adjustable and length adjustable. So let's hop over to the rear seat. The rear seat, you know, is almost similar to a normal Audi A4. The rear door, you know, the same soft touch plastics, Alcantara insert, that aluminum trim, and you also have this special release, door release for the RS model, and then you have more of that leather on the armrest here, and then you have soft touch plastics down below, and then you have the Bang & Olufsen speaker grill down here. And curious enough, the only Bang & Olufsen badging you have on the front doors and the rear door speakers down low in the cabin. It would be cool if they did something, you know, where they showed off the branding and the tweeters more as they do in the bigger Volvos. So the backs of the front seats actually don't have any pockets in them, which is weird enough. And then you also have here the climate control for the rear seat, because this has the tri-zone climate package, also heated seats there on all the outboard seats. And then you have the same, you know, diamond stitching here, this quilted stitching on the inserts in Alcantara on the rear seats, and then you have this smooth leather with contrast stitching on the sides. And this car also has the panoramic sunroof, which is very huge and very large. Audi do one of the best panoramic sunroofs in the business. So over to the last section of the car, this being the RS4. This is the station wagon, the most practical version, and this is electrically operated. And there you have the trunk. It is large for this class, and for most people the RS4 is, you know, enough car for family use and day-to-day driving. So this has the comfort access, the keyless go, keyless entry. You can lock the car from the boot. Press there to close. Again, press there to close. So there you go, guys. That was an extensive tour of the exterior and the interior of the 2018 Audi RS4. If you like this video, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye. We'll be right back.